Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, and welcome to Third Tuesday Conversations. My name is Elizabeth Pedersen, and I know I'm not normally your host for 3TC, but today our friend Danica is feeling under the weather, so you get me today. We have with us today Erica Schimelpfenig, and she is the Executive Director of YouthWorks, an organization that does mission trips, and we are so glad to have you with us today, Erica. Before we get started, just a couple of things. We would love for you to be a part of our conversation today, and you can do that by typing in questions for Erica in the box on the right-hand side of your screen. I will get those and we'll send those along to her. And you can also join us by live tweeting with the hashtag 3TC. So as we start our conversation today, Erica, how about you just introduce yourself to us and tell us who you are as a human outside of your work with YouthWorks, and then we'll jump into your job.
Sure, I would love to. Well, outside of YouthWorks, I am a wife and I am a mother of to three lovely children who love adventure, all 10 and under, and we live in Minneapolis, Minnesota, right by Theodore Wirth Park, so we enjoy doing outside stuff. Specifically, but I'm a transplant to Minnesota. I'm originally from New York, and so the crazy thing is I moved to Minnesota to work for YouthWorks. So it's been a long journey. It's been an awesome journey, and I still find myself in love with this organization, and maybe not as in love with Minnesota.
What? Come on.
I love Minneapolis, but I mean, really, when you're indoors for days upon days because it's so cold, you kind of miss the shorter seasons that we had in New York for winter.
So maybe you just need a few more years, and then you'll start to just accept it as your reality and love it a little more.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. My children were born here, so they're all Minnesotan children.
Good. Yeah. Okay, so how about you tell us about your time with YouthWorks? How long have you been with them, and how did you find your way into this executive director role?
Yeah, absolutely. So I moved, my very first summer with YouthWorks was summer 2000. And I was actually a summer staff. So we hire about 300 plus summer staff, college age, post-college age, to work with us during the summer. And so my senior year of college, I signed up to do this thing called YouthWorks, and had a really incredible summer, learned so much about leadership, learned so much about myself, learned so much about missions and serving. And I thought at the very end of that summer, that was awesome, but I don't think I'll ever do that again. And then crazy enough, I found myself really wanting to do it again the next summer. And actually got a call. I was working in New York at the time, and got a call from the headquarters here in Minneapolis, and they said, hey, we have this job here working in our recruiting department, wondering if you're interested, would you come move here and work for YouthWorks full time? And so I took the job in 2001 and have been here ever since. And, I've had a bunch of different roles at YouthWorks. I was in recruiting for years. I was part of our team that works specifically on community development and all of our site setup. I did that role for a while. I went back to recruiting to be the director of that department for a while, and then spent the majority of my time as the director of missions, and so really kind of overseeing on a bigger scale a little bit of what we do. And then about a year and a half ago, we had a transition in our organization here, and I was approached and asked to consider the executive director role of the organization. And so I've been here in this role for a year and a half, and so far it's been my most favorite. It's been the role that I've got to see and have kind of the biggest vantage point, largest vantage point of the organization through. And so been able to kind of take some things, some ideas and vision that I had for the organization and put that into play. So that's how I got here.
Great. Congratulations.
Well, thanks. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay, so for anybody who doesn't know very much about YouthWorks, how about you just tell us a little bit about what YouthWorks is, what YouthWorks does?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are a youth missions organization, and we provide week-long mission experiences for teenagers. So we partner with about 60 plus communities across the United States, also have a site in Canada, another site in Puerto Rico, and are looking at moving international, but I'll tell you a little bit about that later.
Okay.
And we exist to connect teenagers to God, to connect them to one another through and communities through these week-long mission experiences. And teenagers come, we set up everything for them to do from where they'll stay and then the hands-on service that they'll do during the week. And then we also provide a discipleship aspect of each week where students are getting together for corporate time of worship, also some studying of the word together, and then processing of what and how they are seeing God move through the mission experience. And so it's a really powerful experience.
Yeah.
It is really life-changing and impacting for the teenagers who come.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so those all run through the summer. We start in June and then go to the beginning of August during the summer.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I am totally getting what you're saying. As somebody who loves mission trips, that's my favorite part of my job. And
Yeah.
I think it's mission trips is something that people can talk about all the time because they're always changing or people have such different perspectives on what a mission trip should be. So
Yeah,
I'm wondering
absolutely.
when it comes to YouthWorks, what is your philosophy behind why we do mission trips?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you this, and this is largely my belief in why I do what I do. I honestly believe that service is one of the greatest faith developing components of youth ministry.
Yeah.
And I really believe that students, they need committed leaders and committed organizations that help develop their perspectives around the people and the places that they consider serving. And so we exist to be an organization that does just that. We love working with youth leaders who have kind of the same idea and this desire to get their teenagers outside of themselves. So we started in 1994, and a youth pastor started our organization, and he founded it for that very reason. He believed that and saw as a youth pastor that his students were experiencing more faith impact and more life change through a week of doing service than showing up on Wednesday nights for Bible study or showing up on Wednesday nights for youth group. And so that's why he started this organization and why it's been in existence for about 25 years now. And God is using that, and He's using this organization today to, like I said, connect teenagers to one another, and then also draw teenagers closer to themselves.
Right.
And the way that we do missions with YouthWorks is when it started years ago, it's this youth-focused idea, this youth-focused organization where you have teenagers who are going to a community, serving, helping out. And as a result of that, we were realizing that the community was playing an important and a vital part of these community relationships as well. And so instead of just kind of focusing on a youth experience that kind of we do this through the community, we really wanted to look at how do you do a mission experience by partnering with the community. And so we actually have a kind of a phrase that we use here called this youth plus community, where we know that God is creating life change in and through both, where these teenagers are meeting the community members, and the community members are sharing their story, and they're sharing how the assets that they have, and sharing the rich history that exists in the places where these teenagers are. And the teenagers are learning so much. They came to serve, but they're learning so much about the richness that exists in this place and in these people.
Yeah.
And then vice versa. There's a community who really, has some tangible needs that teenagers can meet. Teenagers can provide love and care for kids during the summer through a kids club program or a vacation Bible school type program. And kids can actually meet some physical needs through physical labor and helping to paint a home or build a wheelchair ramp for a family who doesn't have those. And so really we realize and deeply believe that you can't do missions, and this is not just youth missions. You can't do missions without a joint partnership with the people and the places that you're going to serve. And that equation, that youth plus communities is what creates that impactful experience for teenagers, and then also creates an impactful experience for the community as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something that YouthWorks has as a positive over, me just going out and creating my own mission trip, as on my own as a church. The thing that YouthWorks offers is you guys are in the communities all, all summer long, and then year after year, right? I mean, you have those sustainable relationships and continually making a difference in a community. That's something that, that partnership is something that not many congregations can't do on their own.
Yeah. We're still in some of the very same communities that we were in from the very beginning, and we have a team here who works full time, and their job is to build relationships with the community, to make sure that they are listening well,
right,
and that they are hearing how the community wants us to come alongside of them to continue to serve. So yeah,
that's important.
Yeah.
Okay, so if a group is going to come and bring a group to do a mission trip through YouthWorks, what can they expect from what their week will look like?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first I'll tell you, like I said, we have 60 sites across the United States, or 60 plus sites across the United States. And we have different types of service sites. So groups who are interested in working with kids and doing more kind of manual labor, they would sign up for an experience where it's maybe a rural community or a small town or Appalachia, where we run a kids club or work project ministry. And then we also run a different service type, and that's in our urban cities, or smaller urban cities, where we do service partnerships, where we connect with different organizations, whether they be ministry organizations or just social service organizations that are serving the community, and we provide volunteers for those organizations. So really, it kind of depends on what a church or a school or a group is looking for. If they want to kind of do kids ministry or physical labor, or if they want to really just kind of come alongside of some partnerships, is what it looks like. And so our trips run a Sunday afternoon through a Friday morning. Groups arrive on Sunday between 4 and 6, and we feed you dinner. We get you oriented to the community and to the week, and right away we start in that first night with helping you understand a little bit more about the community and the place that you're going to serve. And we do that through a community speaker, or we do that through just kind of helping you understand the people and places. And then Monday morning, Monday through Thursday, really look the same, where students are going out to various service sites that we organize and put together, and then have some free time in the afternoon. And then one thing we noticed, and we do in our experience, is we know that teenagers need a little bit of downtime, or they need something that's just kind of a little bit kind of different from the experience. And so every night we have what we call an evening activity, and we either take students to a park to do some recreation, or we might even have a community speaker come in and tell us a little bit more about the community and the culture.
Right.
Or we do something that's kind of important and significant to those people in that place. And then every night we do a worship time together, which we call the gathering. And people get together for worship and some discipleship. And then every day we end with churches who come getting back together with their own church group. And one thing that's unique about us is that we're multi-denominational. And so there is not just one denomination that chooses to come with us, but we really value the different richness and the richness that comes from the different varied denominations. And so groups get back together with the church that they came with at the end of the week as well. So so it's a full week, it's a busy week, but it's really, really an incredible week where students learn a lot. We value fun through service, and so that's another aspect of the week as well.
Awesome. Cool. So now that you're settling into your executive director role, what are you dreaming up into the future for YouthWorks?
Yeah. Well, it's been so cool, like I said, to have been here for so many years and then start to think about, okay, now what do we want to do? Over 17 years, I've seen a lot of YouthWorks and a lot of ideas.
Right.
But one thing that we have been working on is just expanding and kind of revitalizing, I would say, our evening programming.
Okay.
And there are some things that we used to do back in the day, I'll say, with YouthWorks, that were really just kind of youth focused, a lot of fun. And then we made some changes over the last more recent years to kind of, make it better. And really this year, what we're doing is we're taking some of the blend of the old and the blend of some of the new things that we've tried to really make sure that we are connecting with teenagers, that teenagers are learning something that is true about who God is, about who God says they are, and also some things about the world. We really want teenagers to walk away from our nightly worship experiences being able to kind of capture those three things in particular. And then some of the things that I'm dreaming about and we're working on are some international partnerships. We've been asked for years. We've largely been an organization that has only predominantly served in North America.
Yeah.
And people have asked us over the years, is YouthWorks ever going to go overseas and do international missions? Because, we'd love to do that, and we'd love to do that with YouthWorks. And we were actually approached by an organization who does service in Costa Rica, and the name of their organization is called Rice and Beans.
Oh.
And they have been in existence in Costa Rica for years, and they are run by nationals who live there on the ground year round. And they do a varying bit of ministry, from doing home repair, actually building things, doing construction. And they also have this really cool piece where they do this food ministry. And they basically are bringing rice, beans, powdered milk, cornmeal to families and handing that out to them, because they put together these bags of food, and each bag of food will serve a family of four for 4 days. And so they do this food ministry. Anyway, they called us, invited us to kind of see what they do, and wanted to partner with us in doing service. And so we are doing an international site. We have it open. It's on our website.
Fun.
And we are looking for people who are interested in coming with us in partnership with Rice and Beans for this coming summer or summers in the future. And then we've also been in conversations with some other organizations, really mostly in Central America, who have invited us to come alongside of the work that they're doing. And, they see the need for more people to come and really want to work with YouthWorks as the kind of sending organization to do that. So I'm thrilled about that. Over the 17 years that I've been here, didn't imagine that we would be international at some point.
Yeah.
But really feel like God is showing us how how the need is great there, and how he can utilize teenagers through international missions
For sure.
as well.
So, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So I was just wondering, so how does the international piece change your role as far as, I mean, that has to include an airplane, and flights and passports and all of that. Like how have you kind of navigated what that looks like?
Yeah, there are actually some groups now who take an airplane and use passports with us. So we're in Puerto Rico as well. And so students have passports when they go to Puerto Rico, and then they also, when they go to Canada, they need passports for that as well. And so we've kind of navigated some of that before, so that doesn't feel completely scary or new to us.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is, YouthWorks for years has been just kind of proven to have really good systems in place for our trips here. And because we've got systems that are so secure and so well kind of laid out for our trips here, we were actually pretty easily able to lay those on top of an international experience.
That's good.
The reality is, going to West Virginia is not going to look like going to Costa Rica.
Nope.
It will feel and look very different. But there are key YouthWorks aspects of what we do that will largely, you'll be able to kind of touch and feel and see, oh, okay, yeah, I see YouthWorks in this experience as well. And we've, the partner that we have in Costa Rica, we've gotten to know really well. And so we're working together to make it a good experience. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So will it still be, you're the partner in Costa Rica, will it still be like they're hooking you up with the daytime programming, and you still have your YouthWorks staff there on the ground doing the evening programming? Is that the same?
It'll be done in conjunction together. So we will have 2 YouthWorks staff on the ground in Costa Rica, and then we will work with the Rice and Beans team, and they will be leading us through the different ministry through the service day. So if we're doing construction, they'll be leading and guiding the projects. If we're doing a kids ministry, they will be leading us, and we'll be coming alongside of them to do that as well. So
cool.
Yeah. So we're really excited about it. Excited to see how God moves through it, and are inviting more churches to come with us. And we really see, we're open for groups this summer, but we really see this taking off for summer 2019 as well.
Right.
Yeah. And then lastly, just one other great thing that's on the horizon that I oftentimes think people don't realize is that so we get calls on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, from communities across the country who are saying, hey, we need an organization like YouthWorks here.
Yeah.
We need some teenagers who have some skills that can tangibly meet some needs here. We have been on a YouthWorks trip, or we've heard about a YouthWorks trip, and we really think that our community could use an organization like yours. And so right now we have a running list of 50 plus communities that are wanting YouthWorks to come and bring teenagers. And I would love to say yes to every single one of those communities that have asked us to come. But I also know that we can only go to the places where we have workers, and where we have youth pastors who are signing up with their kids to come and do a service experience. And so I'm thrilled about what the future looks like. We want to continue to grow out west in the United States, or along the West Coast, and grow some of our sites out there. But yeah, I mean, I can't say it more. As much as this will impact the lives of teenagers, the world is starting to see and realize that teenagers are capable and have the ability to bring change and to impact by serving. And so I think if we continue to work together, this is going to continue to change the lives of teenagers. It's going to continue to impact communities. And all in all, I believe that God's going to change the world through that.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, and not only the kids, the students who are participating, but also the staff. That's a whole nother part of your ministry,
It is.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, like, maybe talk, what's that hiring process like? How do you train them? How do you prepare them for what they're going to go through? I mean, firsthand, so.
Yeah. So like I said earlier, we hire over 300 staff during the summer, and those are mainly college age or post-college young professionals that we hire to work with us for. It's 11-week commitment, because part of that 11-week we're training you, and then we're debriefing at the end of the summer. But we basically take a week to help you understand how to functionally run the program, but then also we work with you to kind of develop some specific leadership skills so that you know what it's like to run a week of missions. And we hire a team of 4 to 5 for every community that we are in. And those 4 or 5 staff, they literally like pick up and move to that one community for the entire summer. And they kind of carry out the relationship building that we've been doing all year with these community members. They invest in those community relationships. And then they take the work that we've done and they basically bring it to life. And so they will go and bring a group of students to a senior adult home, or they will lead a work project literally on the ground. And they are the ones who are just, walking along youth pastors and teenagers and encouraging them to grow in their faith. And so it's a huge, like I said, I did it one summer, and it is a huge, to me, to this day, I say it really shaped me as a leader, doing an experience like that. And one perk of it is that we pay college students and college students. We pay, to come and work for us during the summer. So it's kind of the best of it's a good summer adventure with a lot of good leadership that is gained through that. And and it's we actually give our summer staff a little book at the end of the summer that says, hey, use this for your resume because here are all the things you did. Now take this list of things you did and put it in your next resume, because it will help you get a job, because you are now more qualified than you ever thought you were.
That's the kind of experience you can't buy.
No, exactly. Yeah. So
okay, so how do congregations get involved? What do we do?
Yeah, absolutely. So on the screen there is our website, youthworks.com. You can go visit there, and we have a map on the homepage that will help you see all the different communities that we're in, and you can click on a community and you can read a little bit about the why that we're in that community. You can read about specifically what you would do in that community during that week, and a daily schedule and all the frequently asked questions that you might have. And then listed out for you there is our 800 number, and you can talk to a trip consultant who can answer a ton of questions about what we do.
There you go. All right. And then I hear that you're going to be at the youth gathering this summer. Is this true?
Yes, we're so excited. Yeah, we are going to be there and excited to meet students. And, we miss out, honestly, on a lot of students who are part of the ELCA because they go to the gathering, which we support and love, but we miss you guys when you're not there with us during our summer. So we just want to be there, and we'll actually kind of be sharing some of our summer theme with the students and helping them kind of get a piece of what they missed out on. Okay. So that they don't miss out too much.
Right. Yeah. So you'll be in the Interaction Center then?
Yeah, we will. Yep.
All right. So people can look for you there. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. This has been a wonderful conversation. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody just go to youthworks.com and find out more from here. And actually, I think your information is on the website too if people want to get in touch with you.
Yep, it sure is.
There you go. That's perfect. Okay, a couple housekeeping things for you all. Third Tuesday Conversations is made possible by the members of the Youth Ministry Network, so thank you for your support, and encourage you to invite others to be a part of 3TC moving forward. And if there's any ideas that you have for future guests, please let us know. That would be great. And we hope to see you all very soon in Houston for the extravaganza. That's coming up, man, next week already, isn't it? So hopefully we'll see you all there. And then we also have an archive, a very lengthy archive of past Third Tuesday conversations that you can use and go back and listen to. You can go to elcaymnet.org/3TC archive and find all those titles there. And then next month on 3TC, we have Siri Erickson from Gustavus Adolphus, who is going to be talking to us about faith, science, and ethics. Should be good. We will see you all there. Thank you for coming, and hope to see you in Houston next week. Have a good day.